What's going on, guys? So, after all the Microsoft layoffs and everything happening with Xbox last week, a lot of questions have been coming out. We've had developers, former co founders of big studios coming out, the co founder of Arcane saying, hey, Game Pass is the elephant in the room here, like it's not sustainable and everything like that. So, there's a Forbes article done by Paul Tassi, and it says why it does matter if Xbox Game Pass is profitable or not. Now, this talk started again. It's been happening for years. Like, we haven't heard numbers or people trying to do the math on how does Game Pass actually become profitable for Microsoft, right? So, someone, a reporter named Chris Ding, actually talked to Microsoft, and they claim that Game Pass was profitable, but it's only when you took out first party consideration. So, it's like specifically development costs for first parties, they don't include that. So, if you don't do that, then it is considered profitable because you don't, that's a big cost, especially their big first party games that take 6 to 7 years to develop. If you don't add that in, then obviously you have more profit. Now, the real issue with this is there's no real way to say, okay, this is how much Xbox would have sold for a game on their platform if it wasn't in Game Pass. So you can't really say, hey, it's not profitable because of this imaginary or guesstimation of how much it would have made if it was just available not in Game Pass. So it's kind of tricky. I believe they said Microsoft assumes that they lose at least half the sales they would have made directly off of the game from one-time purchase, but they're willing to eat that considering if you get a subscription, the person may be with you for an entire year or multiple months at a time to make up for that cost of that one-time purchase. But a lot of people in the gaming industry have been, contemplating this. Like, hey, is Game Pass good or bad for the industry? They are the only, PlayStation has their own version of it, but it does give indie developers a chance to, get more eyes on their product and things like that. But some people think, hey, it's going to make it, lack of ownership of games. And like, obviously, as consumers, there are more people that will are willing to pay, a monthly price to play these high quality games instead of spending 70, 80 bucks every month. And I think honestly it's up to the consumer. If you want to own the game, you could still buy it. Game Pass doesn't erase that ability. For me personally, I have Game Pass and I also still buy games at the same time. So it's all up to, whatever that individual wants to do.